So till now we discuss state executive, we discuss completed, we discuss governor, we discuss chief minister, we discuss state council of minister. Then we started state legislature. Okay, in that we discuss unicameralism, bicameralism. We discuss about state assembly. We discuss about state council. Now we will discuss the relationship between the center and state. What is the relationship between center and state? In that particular relation, what is the legislature relationship between the central government and state government? Okay, relationship in the terms of legislature. So the legislature relation between the center and state can be studied in 4 ways. Okay, what are those? First, territorial extent of central and state legislation. That means the law which is made by the central government and state government, where it is applicable, what is the limit and all those things. Then distribution of legislature subject. We discussed union list, concurrent list and state list. Then parliamentary legislation in the state subject and central control over state legislation. That means involvement of the central government in the state legislature. These 2 points are like that. Got it? So one by one we will discuss. First we will discuss about the territorial extents. Okay. So the law which is made by the parliament, it is applicable to overall India. Is it? Everyone agreed? Some exceptions are there. For example, Nagaland. Example, we have this Manipur, Mizoram we have, right, under Article 371. We will discuss in the later classes also, right. The law which is made by the parliament, it is applicable throughout the country. Okay, but the law which is made by the state, it is applicable within the boundary of that state. For example, Gujarat made a law that ban of alcohol. Is it applicable in Karnataka? No. 53% of the revenue of Karnataka government is from excise department only. So they can't ban. You're understanding? So here if you observe, the law which is made by the state legislature, it is applicable within the boundary of that state. But the law which is made by the parliament, okay, and the law which is made by the parliament, it is applicable throughout the country, but certain exceptions are there that we will discuss in the coming classes. Like we have a scheduled area, tribals area, we have special provision to certain states from Article 371A to 371J. In those articles also we will discuss. Okay, and parliament is having extraterritorial legislation power. So what is that extraterritorial legislation power? The law which is made by the parliament, it is applicable to a particular individual in India, plus that individual property in abroad also. Plus that individual property in abroad. That power state legislature does not have. Our state legislature does not have that extraterritorial power which parliament is having. In short, or in simple language, the law which is made by the parliament, it is also applicable in the foreign country. Right? If an individual citizen of India, right, that law made by the parliament is applicable to citizen of India in India, plus on citizen of India on foreign soil also, or the properties who are there in foreign country. For example, if the law made in India, that is applicable to the, what do you call this, Mukesh Ambani in India also, and Mukesh Ambani property in abroad. Got it? So that is extraterritorial power which only parliament is having, not state legislature. Then the law which is made by the state legislature, okay, that can be applicable in the other state if there is a relationship between the state and that particular object or a particular person. Now take an example. If the law made by the Karnataka state, and the resident of the Karnataka residing in Andhra Pradesh. In this case, the law which is made by the Karnataka, it is applicable to the person who is resident of Karnataka but residing in Andhra Pradesh, but only to that individual only, not each and everyone. Very rare cases actually. Got it? Okay, so in that case only. So this is about legislature relationship between central government, center and state. Okay, first such, what do you call this one, division, that is territorial, in terms of territory. In terms of legislature subject, in political science we already discussed, subject means a definite area, right? Education is a subject, forest is a subject, environment is a subject, right? Finance is a subject, defense is a subject. So in Indian Constitution, first time that subject demarcation was introduced by Government of India Act 1935. In that also we discussed, right? Okay, so there in that act also clearly define the subjects in the particular list. So our constitutional makers also, what they did, they have demarcated the subjects or divided the subjects into three lists. Divided the subject into three lists. What are those three lists? Union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list, state list and concurrent list. The subjects which are mentioned in union list, only parliament has an authority to make law. State legislature does not have authority to make law in union list. In state list, only state legislature has the authority to make a law, not the parliament. Exceptions are there, we will discuss. Okay. In concurrent list, both central government, parliament also has the authority to make a law, as well as state legislature is also having a authority to make a law. In which list? Concurrent list. But now the question arises, if the law made by the parliament in concurrent list on one particular subject, on the same subject state legislature also will make a law, at that time which law we need to follow? At that time the law which is made by the parliament will prevail. That means during that clashes time, okay, whenever there is a clashes between the law made by the parliament and the law made by the state legislature, in case of one of the subject in concurrent list, at that time the law which is made by the parliament will prevail, or the law which is made by the parliament has to follow. Understood? Okay, now residuary power. Now what is that residuary power? Any subject which is not mentioned in union list, state list or concurrent list, new subject added. New subject added, not appeared, new subject is appeared. Okay, which is not mentioned in union list, state list or concurrent list. At that time, okay, who is having authority to make law on that subject? Parliament. Okay, that means parliament is having a residuary power over the subject. That means any subject which is not mentioned in this three list, on that particular subject parliament has an authority to make law. Understood? So that power, it is called what? Residuary power. This concept has taken from Government of India Act 1935. According to that act, residuary power was in the hands of Viceroy of India. Viceroy of India before independence. But at present time, after independence, residuary power lies in the hands of Parliament. Understood? Now again one more thing here. State list was having 61 subjects, 66 subjects. State list was having 66 subjects. So by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 5 subjects were transferred from state list to concurrent list. 5 subjects were transferred from state list to concurrent list. By which Constitutional Amendment Act? 42nd. What are those 5 subjects which were transferred from state list to concurrent list? Those are education, forest, weight and measures, that 1 kg, 2 kg, 1 liter. So that weight and measures, protection of wild animals and birds, okay, and administration of justice. Not courts, their administration is there, na? Okay, those things. So these 5 subjects, earlier it was a part of state list, but by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, these 5 subjects were transferred from state list to concurrent list. Got it? Okay. Next, there are certain cases are there, okay, when Parliament has a power to make law in state list. I mentioned, no? Right? There are certain exceptions are there. Exceptional cases are there. In those cases, Parliament can make law in state list. Okay, so what are those cases? When Rajya Sabha passes a resolution, by 2/3 of majority, special majority. When Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by special majority, okay, due to the factor of national importance, due to the national importance, by seeing that national importance, Rajya Sabha passed the resolution with special majority. Okay, after passing that resolution, Parliament got authority to make the law in state list. Parliament got authority to make the law in state list. What is the validity of that law? 1 year. What is the validity of that law? 1 year. If next year also it is mandatory for the Parliament to make the law in state list due to national importance, at that time again the Rajya Sabha has to pass the resolution. After passing the resolution, again the Parliament will make the law in state list. Understood? Here validity is 1 year. Whenever there is a in emergency, we discuss during the national emergency under Article 352, state legislature won't dissolve, please remember, and state council of minister and chief minister won't be removed or they won't resign. National emergency we are talking, right? But during national emergency, Parliament has empowered to make law in state list. They can make. Now what is the validity? Validity is the law will be valid till 6 months after the emergency ceased to be operated. That means emergency declared, but in the month of January, emergency has been ceased to be operated, revoke. Then within 6 months of that date of revocation, that means July, till July that law will be applicable. After that, that law will be ceased to be operate. Got it? Now next, when 2 or more than 2 states make a request to the Parliament, make a request to Parliament to make the law, at that time Parliament can make law. Example, Protection of Wildlife Act 1972, might be have read about it. That is an example. So whenever 2 or more than 2 states make a request to the Parliament to make the law in state subject, at that time Parliament can make the law. What is validity? Permanent. Because state is requesting to the Parliament to make the law. So this is validity is permanent. Okay. Now next, to implement international agreement. Whenever, okay, if to implement any provisions of any international agreement, okay, then the Parliament can have the Parliament has empower to make the law in state list. Now take the example, rivers are there, right? Those are comes under the state list. But rivers are in some international rivers are there. So we have agreement also with other countries, right, to implement the provision of that agreement. Okay, if the state subject has to touch, at that time Parliament has a empower. Parliament has a power to make law in state list, and that law is permanent or until the cease of that agreement or until the validity of that agreement. If the agreement is for 5 years, then that law will be for 5 years, validity of that law. Got it? Then next, during president rule, we discuss now Article 356. Whenever the state is not according to the administrating not according to the constitution, or center give direction to the state and state failed to comply with the direction, at that time on the recommendation of governor or without recommendation of the governor, president can impose the constitutional emergency or president rule in a state, okay, under Article 356. During that time, Council of Ministers along with the Chief Minister has to resign, but Assembly won't dissolve. Okay, rare cases, Assembly can dissolve. Okay, that also has to be decided by the President or Governor, if the Governor is appointed as an administrator at that time. So whenever there is a President rule imposed on a particular state, at that time, Parliament has a power to make law in state list. Now what is the validity? Same. Validity is a 6 months. After the President rules, he is to be operate. When the President rule is finished, the day, now take an example, President rule is finished on the 31st. So from that day 6 months, that is the validity, that's all. During emergency is there, but after emergency is also there till maximum period of 6 months when the emergency cease to be operate. Understood? So here Parliament has a power to make the law in state list in 5 cases. What are those? When Rajya Sabha passes a resolution, validity is 1 year. During national emergency, validity is 6 months from the date of emergency cease to be operate. When President rule, same like a national emergency. When state make a request, permanent. And for this to implement the international agreement till the tenure of the agreement. Okay, that is the validity. Then apart from that, central is having a control over the state legislature also. Okay, what are those cases? So governor, in governor topic we discussed, right? Governor can reserve the certain bill which are passed by the state legislature for the consideration of president, and president is having absolute veto over them. The bill passed by the state assembly will send to the governor. Governor is having 3 things. What? Accept the bill, give the assent, return the bill, reject the bill, or reserve the bill for the consideration to the president. That bill is the interest of the state legislature, but president is involving, means central government is involving. Right? And president is having absolute veto over that bill. No time limit. President can keep that bill also, and president can reject that bill also. Though that bill is passed by the state legislature. That means it is a state subject only, right? But central is controlling over the state legislature. Okay. And certain bills are there. Okay. For introduction of that bill also, president permission is required, or previous approval of the president is required. What are those bills? If that bill restrict the freedom of trade and commerce. This is a national importance issue. Because trade and commerce, it is not within a single state, no? It is between the state. It can be an intrastate or it can be an interstate. So if any state, they introduce the bill, okay, that bill imposing certain restrictions on the freedom of trade and commerce, at that time that bill has to get the approval of president. Okay. Then next, now at the case of financial emergency, we discussed, right? During financial emergency, the money bill which is passed by the state assembly or state legislature, the governor will reserve that money bill for the assent of president. Okay, so this is about the what? The legislature relationship between the central government and state government. Got it?